Hi, welcome and thanks for watching. In this new travelmentary, you will see a flight with Air Canada from Toronto to Frankfurt am Main in Germany. And I'm doing that trip over the Atlantic in business class. As always, I have summarized the main facts in an info animation. So on the paper we need about 7 hours and 40 minutes for a distance of roughly 3,936 miles. The aircraft used on this flight is a Boeing 777-300ER. Here I'm at Toronto Pearson International Airport in the area past security and on my way to the Air Canada lounge. Now you may ask, why does the video begin here? There's an easy answer to this, but we need to go back in time for it. The whole trip actually started at Washington's Reagan National Airport, known as DCA. There I boarded an Embraer E175 jet operated by Air Canada Express. In it, they have those cozy seats, at least in business class, and also a touch-capable entertainment system. It looks old school with that cursor, but surprisingly, it was fully functional. So even on a 90-minute flight like this one, you can choose from a variety of movies and TV shows. That is something I did not expect on a regional plane, and it's nice, although the loading times may challenge your patience. The attentive crew also served a light meal on this flight, which you see right here. After this short prelude, to speak in musical terms, let's jump to where this video started, which was Pearson Airport in Toronto. There I have nearly reached the Air Canada Signature Suite at Terminal 1, which is neighboring the Plaza Premium Lounge. I just have to go one level up here. Alright, so here we go. Once again, I was very surprised by Air Canada and their staff. They were so welcoming, it's incredible. This employee, for example, gave me a little tour of the lounge.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Up to your left is our bistro, and this is also buffet.
Okay.
The one up ahead is the upper timing, which takes approximately 45 minutes to dine. It is also a luxury stay.
Okay, cool.
Then we've got a full service bar right over here, and the washroom is located to the right side of the Air Canada screen in that hallway.
Okay. All right. So you said this is like a real dining experience in the restaurant.
Yes, that's a three-course meal, which you'll find here in this menu.
Okay.
And then right here is the buffet.
Okay,
so
very cool.
You are more than welcome to bring your food over to the South Lounge if you wish.
Okay.
You need to do some work and dine at the same time, or you can also work here. We've got some plugs here that you can use.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks.
So you've heard it, you can get a top-notch 3-course meal and you can have it either here in this area or in the other part of the lounge that looks more like a restaurant, I guess. You can see it right here. Now I decided to settle down here. The lounge was not overcrowded and the atmosphere was calm and relaxed. That's exactly how I like it. Soon after, I was greeted by a waiter. First of all, I tried a local wine from the Niagara Peninsula, which I enjoyed a lot.
You want to try a little bit first, or?
Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah. All right, thank you.
The waiter could actually give recommendations and he was able to tell me something about every wine on the list. But of course, I did not only come here for the wine. So here they have already served me the starter. That was followed by the main course.
All right, yeah, there we go. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank
Not
you.
a problem. The chicken breast with the charred rapini and the oyster mushrooms, sir.
All right.
Enjoy,
yeah,
sir.
thank you.
It looks delicious, doesn't it? The same can be said about the dessert.
Yes, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
I chose the buttermilk panna cotta along with some tea, and just like everything else that I had, it was beyond any doubt. In my opinion, the dining option at this lounge is a real winner and it adds a lot of value to the business class product as a whole. Now if that is not enough for you, or let's say you're in a hurry and can't go for the 3-course meal, then you still have a buffet with various food options. Sandwiches, rice, soups, this is the standard lounge food, so to speak. To summarize this, I had a wonderful stay in this lounge, they have a great staff there, and I think it is a perfect way of starting a trip. Well, time to say auf Wiedersehen to them and to head to my plane to Germany.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Yes, bye.
Thank you.
As you see, the jet bridge separates here, and this simplifies the boarding process as there is less traffic in the aisle and everybody can reach the seat
Hi.
quicker.
Hello.
I wrote it on the sheet. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Friday.
Yep.
Are you by yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
This way. Okay. Thank you.
Well, and once I was approaching my seat, I realized the gentleman had already occupied it. He wanted to offer me his middle seat, but that sounded like a bad deal to me. I needed the window, so I had to use the means of diplomacy to get it back, which eventually worked out just fine. Now here you can see that there is a compartment in the seat where you can find the amenity kit, some power outlets and the remote control for the entertainment system. There's also a little screen which controls the seat functions. The 18-inch high-resolution screen is the centerpiece of the IFE. I'm going to say more about it once we're airborne. After all the wine I had in the lounge, I chose the orange juice as the welcome drink. Outside we have an Air Canada subsidiary, Air Canada Rouge, that I'm eager to review as well. Okay, this is the menu, obviously, where you can also read about the people that designed the meals that are served on this flight. The menu comes in 3 languages: English, French and German. In the seat pocket there's the usual security card and an item that you hopefully will never need. And of course there is a magazine of limited substance as well as the duty-free catalog. In the following scene the flight attendant takes my order for dinner.
I'd like the beef tenderloin.
And did you tell us your breakfast menu?
No, I didn't get to it.
I'll just ask you to
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Here I'm doing the paperwork for the breakfast. This may seem bureaucratic, but it is actually a good thing since that means that you have freedom of choice. Sliced fruit, yogurt, a croissant and an omelette. Sounds decent, right? After those formalities, it's time to turn our undivided attention to Air Canada's safety video. Well, unfortunately, the sound quality isn't great here. The plane is already moving and we are leaving our gate, so let's continue with the taxi animation that I have created. The biggest portion of Toronto Pearson International Airport is located in the city of Mississauga. Today our gate of departure is E77 at Terminal 1, which I outlined with the bluish rectangle. From there we taxi to runway 23. With 11,120 feet, it's the longest runway at this airport. Okay, we have left the gate and now we see Terminal 1. It is used by Star Alliance members. Emirates is an exception here, they are not part of any alliance, yet they are operating from there as well. Terminal 3 is where the competition gathers. At this point, there are only these 2 passenger terminals at Pearson International Airport. So the question arises as to why they are called 1 and 3 then. The answer is that there was a Terminal 2 in former times, but it was demolished in 2007, while the numbering of the remaining terminals has not been changed. Well, you have probably noticed that something went wrong with my gear. It doesn't like the acceleration during takeoff, and for this reason I have to readjust it sometimes. Nevertheless, once that is done, the footage will be smooth again. Moreover, I was not allowed to attach my GoPro to the window, which is usually my camera backup during takeoff and landing. Those of you that are familiar with this channel know that one of the selling points of my videos is the aerial sightseeing feature. And this video is no exception. Right now we are above some industrial areas around the airport. And this is why there aren't any spectacular landmarks to show here, just a couple of highways to be honest. As we fly further southwest, we are passing the CAA Center, which I marked with the big tag. It is a multi-purpose arena and it is home to the Brampton Beast, an ice hockey team. Alright, if you have enjoyed this video so far, it might be a good idea to subscribe. If you do so, please don't forget to click on the bell icon so you don't miss any new releases. I'm constantly working on new videos. Here we still see some areas of Brampton along with the local college. The complex in the background, euphemistically called Youth Center, is actually a prison for juvenile offenders. Okay, back into the plane. While I'm waiting for my dinner, let's see what the internet options are on this flight. The plans differ in terms of speed and duration. You either pay for 1 hour or the whole flight. I paid 29 Canadian dollars for the fastest internet option available for the duration of the flight. Depending on the exchange rate, this is something like 22 US dollars. And the internet connection worked as promised. Well, and now it's time to get prepared for dinner, that's why I got the hot towel here. This is the appetizer. Nearly every airline serves nuts, and so does Air Canada. Well, if you remember, I ordered the beef tenderloin as the main course, but first things first, here's the starter. It already looks appealing, and again I add some red wine to accompany the food. And that's the beef tenderloin. Excellent quality, but maybe the presentation could be more creative. The meat itself, though, was very much to my liking. After the main course, I had the cheese plate, which consisted of Canadian Oka cheese, camembert and medium cheddar. Finally, I have eaten my way to the dessert. I chose the brown sugar tart with the custard. Well, that was the dinner. In short, it was very good. And so is the legroom on this plane. The lavatory comes with a window, so you can enjoy the view of the sky while, well, brushing your teeth, for example. Other than that, it's pretty standard, but I love the maple leaf design they have here. Lavatory check complete, now let's see what the entertainment options are. To start with, you get a pair of noise-cancelling headphones. I don't know of which manufacturer, but they absolutely did their job. Okay, and here we have the beautiful high-definition screen. As mentioned earlier, it has a size of 18 inches, which is rather big. There are numerous movies, and of course you can sort them by genre. Let's see if I can find an interesting movie. Maybe this one. A revolutionary medical technique allows an undercover agent to take the physical appearance of a major criminal and infiltrate his organization. Sounds like a good story, so let's start this one, for example. What a difference in the loading time compared to the Embraer plane at the beginning of the video. Besides all the movies and TV shows, there's also a lot of music that you can listen to. I've seen other in-flight entertainment systems where you cannot choose specific songs, but only radio stations or playlists. I guess that's how you can call it. This is different here, so for instance, let's say you enjoy classical music, then there's really a lot to choose from. Not only Beethoven and Vivaldi, but also Mozart and Shostakovich. And the cool thing is that a lot of them are performed by Canadian orchestras, which makes sense on an Air Canada plane, right? Besides, there are some travel tips, and there's the option to create your own playlist. And of course, the system doesn't lack a flight map. The only downside of this marvelous screen is that you cannot move it. It is rock solid, as you can see, but to be honest, I didn't see much need to adjust it really, but maybe somebody else does, so I wanted to mention it. If you're tired of leaning forward to touch the screen, there's also a remote control. Well, I don't think you can watch any movies on it, and seriously, why would you want to do that? You can use it to control the in-flight entertainment system or to have a quick look at your current location on the map. All in all, the IFE gets a high rating from me. It's a nice system. There's no long-haul business class flight without an amenity kit. So here's what Air Canada gave me. Want des Essentiels is the brand they chose. It's not like I've lived under a rock for the past few years, but to be honest, I've never heard of that company. And online research doesn't reveal much about it either. Maybe you, my valued viewers, know more about this brand. The content of the amenity kit is average. In my opinion, they should have added something special, like a bottle of maple syrup or something. It is how it is though. The amenity kit comes with a pair of socks, a sleep mask, a little box with skincare products, a toothbrush, and a cleaning cloth for glasses, which I do find useful. This nice little touchscreen is where you can control all seat functions. You can turn on and off the lights, for example. There's also a massage function, and you can make your seat firmer or softer just the way you feel comfortable. And of course, this seat goes fully flat. Let's see what that looks like. Air Canada has a pretty straightforward way of improving the seat by giving you this additional mattress. The effect is amazing. In the end, you have a perfectly comfortable bed. I mean, look at that. Well, and this is the breakfast. Remember, I had to fill out that paper, so here you see what I ordered. The omelette, the seasonal fruit, and so on. At this point, the pilot has started the descent into Frankfurt Airport. A beautiful morning from this perspective, but below the clouds it's quite hazy. Nevertheless, I can still show you some of the landmarks of Frankfurt. The city is Germany's financial center and among the most important ones in Europe. That's why the European Central Bank is headquartered here in their new building. You can also spot the skyline of the so-called Bankenviertel, or the Central Business District, with Germany's tallest building. I marked it with a tag. From here you also see the Main, which is a tributary of the Rhine. Right next to it, there's the University Clinic of Frankfurt. The neighborhood called Gallus has a special history. In medieval times, they used to hang people there. Later, it became an industrial area, while today it's more and more an upscale district with residential buildings, office towers, such as the Tower 185, and a big shopping mall, the Skyline Plaza. Finally, we have reached Niederrad, a neighborhood with 25,000 inhabitants. And as we are very close to the runway now, it's time for the landing animation. Here in Frankfurt we are about to land on runway 25 right, which is only used for landings, and it's also the newest runway at this airport. So how to summarize this trip in one word? Well, it would be something between wonderful and perfect. I mean, Air Canada has a very consistent product even on short-haul flights. Then the amazing lounge at Pearson Airport, the fantastic onboard product on the Boeing 777. It was so convincing that I would definitely consider flying with them again, and I don't even collect miles with Star Alliance. But I would love to hear your opinion. What's your favorite business class product on transatlantic routes? Which airline has the best economy class on flights from the US to Europe, for example? Feel free to let me know your view in the comment section below. Well, you see that it became impossible to film through that window, so I couldn't reconstruct our taxi path with the usual precision. But what I can tell you is that we taxied to Terminal 1. Alright, so this was my trip with Air Canada. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please don't forget to subscribe and to click on the bell icon. Sharing and liking really help this channel too. And thank you all for supporting my work. In the next video you will see a Lufthansa lounge at Frankfurt Airport and my flight to Tunis in business class. I wish you a great day wherever you're watching.